Hey everyone, good morning. So, not a lot of incentives came out yesterday, which I was kind of surprised about because it's Thursday, we're nearing the end of the quarter, it's nearing the end of the month, and I guess one of the biggest ones that people keep talking about, which it's been around for a while now, is the stupid 0% for the Model Y standard. All-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. We've known this, it's been 0% for 72 months before the new year, at least for the rear-wheel drive, and as soon as the all-wheel drive dropped, it was 0%. So I don't understand why it's such a big deal now. Like, I don't know what the push is or what the motivation is behind it, because to me it's like, all right, like this has been out for a while, why are we just now talking about it? And I guess that's fine. Like, it's not anything that bad, but it's just, I don't know, it just feels like we're being stupid here. So let me know what you think down below. Do you think 0% for 32 months is a good deal for the standard, or do you think it's like meh? Because I want to say like it's almost 40,000 for the rear-wheel drive, and then it's like 42,000 for the all-wheel drive, which is fine to me. Like, that makes sense. And then looking over at the kind of stuff that we have coming up this weekend. So I am doing my test drive of the Cybertruck. I don't know if they're going to give me a Cyberbeast or the all-wheel drive premium version. Hopefully it's a Cyberbeast. That would be dope. And I'm going to have that, Saturday night, Sunday night, into Monday morning. So I'm going to drive it to work just to, park it right next to the front door and watch all the people whine about it. And then, go to my morning meeting and then, leave for a little bit and go drop it off and come back to work. So I'm excited. What are some things that you think that the Cybertruck is better than the Model X on? And what are some things that the Model X is better about the Cybertruck? I was debating if I wanted to, take my wife's car up to Mohegan Sun to drop it off to pick up the truck, and then I could just, have my X and the Cybertruck like right next to each other and just doing a comparison. But I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I might actually drop my X off and then, see what I'm missing. Or, I could always just go up there like Saturday night or Sunday night, like after the kids go to bed, do kind of like a review of, all right, what am I missing? What do I like? What do I not like? And then kind of go from there. I think that would be pretty beneficial because it is a big transition going from a SUV to a truck. I think the utility part of it, having that big bed, having the big frunk, a little bit more space on the inside. I would say a lot more space on the inside, because like as my knees, like they're not cramped by any means, but I think the Cybertruck's a little bit bigger in that aspect. And it just gives you a little bit more flexibility with space. And then also being able to do 3 across in the second row and having lower latches in all 3 seats is pretty huge in my opinion. Whereas like I have the 6-seater here, but the third row is basically useless for any adult, which I know I'm still losing a seat, and I know that you could still, put your leg in between the two and all this other stuff, but there's really no trunk space. Oh, well, I take that back. There's enough trunk space to do like a Costco run, a grocery store pickup, and like you do have space, and I don't necessarily think that could be the issue, but transitioning from being like an infant dad to a toddler dad to whatever the future holds for when they grow up, I don't know if the X is going to be good enough to keep continuing that, or if I'm going to wish that I had more space. And I think that getting a Cybertruck is going to still have that performance that I like a lot. It's still going to have like the luxury features like cooled seats and stuff like that. But it's really just, I get nervous getting rid of performance. Like I mean, performance to me is kind of like meh. I had the Model Y performance, which I liked a lot. I've had a Subaru WRX before, which I liked a lot. And then now I've got my Model X Plaid, and I don't know if I can switch back to a over 3-second vehicle unless there's like a lot of other stuff that goes into it. And I have owned a truck in the past. I had a Chevy Colorado, which very tiny, and it was comfortable. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was just a little cramped. So I'm wondering if I get something that's not as cramped, if I'll go back to enjoying driving the truck, which I did enjoy my truck a lot. I thought my Colorado was nice. It had a great sound system in it, and I know that the Cybertruck 2, has probably the best sound system out of the entire Tesla lineup, which I think is great. Some things that I kind of worry about with my Model X is like the ceiling on the side, like it lets a lot of air in. Every time I try to do a car wash lately, for some reason, my back floorboard on my driver's side is just like covered in soap. So it's just a few things like that where it's like I'm out of warranty, so I'm gonna have to pay for that stuff out of pocket, is there actually more issues with it whenever it, like, does it leak? Does it, there's just so many different things that go into it. And I think it might just be better to say, like, all right, let's get a new car. I know I've only had this car not even a year, and I've enjoyed my time with it. I mean, I put almost 10,000 miles on it to this point. But I'm wondering if going with the truck would probably be better. It's safer overall because it's a big steel chunk. It's got the front camera. It's got hardware 4. It's going to have full self-driving included. So there's just a bunch of things that I think are going to be pretty good. And then I can always, spend the money to upgrade the interior a little bit. I want to say someone makes like a swivel mount for their screen. I don't really care for it. I don't move my screen. It stays pretty flat where it is. But it's just one of those options to where you can do it if you want to, but I don't know. That's just the way I think about it. Some other things I kind of think about too is like, I don't know if I would go white interior again or tactical gray. I know that the seats for Cybertruck are all black no matter what. It's just like the white on the inside. I do like the white a lot, at least on the seat part of it. I don't know if I would just want like the door panels and the dashboard to just be white. I don't know if that would really scratch any kind of itch for me in that sense. So I don't know. It's just some of the few things I think about. And then also too, I know the Model X has the active noise canceling, so does Cybertruck now, but it's just one of those other things to where I don't think the active noise canceling does that good of a job in my Model X. Maybe because it's a 2022 and it's not a little bit more updated. One of the speakers gets a little meh. It's a little meh. It's not nothing to write home about. And then also too, just I think being able to have those 5 megapixel cameras around the car instead of the 1.2 megapixel does make a big difference in that aspect. I would go back and forth on if I'm going to miss this top screen. I remember in my Model Y, I loved being able to just, spin the car around, zoom in, zoom out, hit the different buttons on the display. With Santa mode, you can make the entire screen in Santa mode, not just like my little display to where only I can see it. So that's just, I guess, another thing that would be good for the kids. I know my oldest loves Santa Claus. At least he did whenever Santa Claus time was around. So I think being able to take that from this small screen and put it on the big screen or the bigger screen would be very, very good for him because he loves it. And then he's also very much into trucks right now. So I think that would be another fun reason why we could do that, because he's like, oh, a truck. And then be like, oh, well, look, buddy, we have a truck. So it's just one of those. It's not that I hate the car. I do. I love this. I love the yoke. I think that's very comfortable. I think being able to see my screen is great. I like the carbon fiber on the inside, which I don't necessarily think that the Cyberbeast has that, which I don't think I would get anyway because it's a little expensive, unless I found something crazy. I'd have to get all new floor mats for it, which is fine. It does have that big roof all the way back though, which is kind of nice. I do miss that with my Model Y. So there are a few things that I think about when it comes to like my Model X compared to my Model Y, and I think that the Cybertruck scratches a lot of those itches, but also being able to scratch the performance side of stuff too, which is nice. The Model Y I thought was too small inside the trunk, whereas like I think that's a different trunk than the Model X, which I don't really know how much different it is. I could always put the third row seats down and only have 4 seats, which is fine, but it's just one of the few things that I really think about, because as we get bigger, as we grow more, I think that we're going to need more space. And then if we ever do move houses and everything, we're going to have a bunch of stuff we got to move. And I think just having a truck readily available to do the moving compared to, my Model X, where it's like you can't even fit like a big box in the back without putting the seats down. And then it's like weird because if it slides forward, and then the second row seats don't go down. So there's a lot of trade-offs, and I think about like where I'm going as I get older. Like I'm going to be 34 this year, and I think that a utility might be better overall for me going forward. And also too, like those seats are very comfortable in the Cybertruck. Like I'm not saying that my seats aren't, but it's just something about like a new truck to where it's like, you're a little higher up. You feel, they usually try to go for comfort over anything else. And I think that the Model X is that bridge between like a sports car and a truck, or like a big SUV. But for me, it's like it's hard because it's trying to figure out where it wants to be at. And I don't know. That's just some of the thoughts that I have on it. And I'm going to do a full review this weekend on the truck because I want to be able to look back and say like, hey, like this is why I got the truck, or this is not why I got the truck, or these are some things that I liked and some things that I don't like. And then also, I never look at gas stations anymore. What the heck is going on there? $3.70 for gas? What the heck? I mean, I pay 30 cents a kilowatt hour, but as that gas price goes up, guess what this car is getting? It's going to get more gas. It's going to be more comparable to a gas like equivalent. So I think when gas was like $2 a gallon or $2.50 a gallon, something like that, this was pretty comparable to a 26 mile per gallon SUV, and I think now it might be closer to like that 30 something range. So just something to kind of think about in that sense. So if you find this helpful, I know I'm rambling a lot, and I'm sorry. I didn't really prepare for today as much as I should have. It's been a long week for work, but if you think this is pretty helpful, please drop a like, please comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. If you think I'm stupid, comment too. I don't care, whatever. I'll respond to your comment and say, hey, I'm sorry you feel that way, but it is what it is. And then if you don't want to look for a brand new Tesla and want to take a test drive, please use my referral link inside the description below, as well as on my page. And then if you're looking to buy a brand new Tesla and you want to take advantage of 3 months of full self-driving for Model 3, Y, or Cybertruck, please use that referral link as well. And that'll give you 3 months of full self-driving. And if you know anything, if you have any questions, please reach out to me on Instagram, and I will respond relatively quick, and that'll get you all set up for me. So I'll see you in the next one, and thanks for watching.